What's up out there, Shopkulture land? Welcome to another edition of Shopkulture. You know what it is. Every Tuesday at 8:30, we do this. I'm joined once again, my tag team partner over here, the Shutdown Corner, Mr. Anthony Schumann.
We in the building.
Anthony, somebody asked me, goes, why do you call him Shutdown Corner? Will you tell the young lady why I call you that?
Okay, tell him, man. You tell him, man. You know, three-time national champion.
Okay.
You
well,
know,
I wanted credentials. That's what I was trying to get at.
You know.
So I've been watching this dude play ball for I don't know how long. Then
10, 15 years now?
Yes, yeah.
Something like that.
And then we won it when it came to flag football. We were in the league, and we took that.
Easy money.
And so when I used to have a number one wide receiver on other team, I used to put the Shutdown Corner on him, and that's why I used to call him Shutdown Corner. And then every time I used to see him, I used to be like, bro, man, you're wasting your talent. You could be playing every Sunday. But anyway, he knows this. We do this.
You're going to get on my head about that again?
I'm gonna ride that. It's gonna be 6
years old. You have to let it go one day, man.
Nah.
You have to let it go.
I was like, man. Especially when you see your team struggling this year. You're like, damn. But in all fairness, I have to give them props though, because the secondary's been playing the ball. They've been stepping up. Ball. They have been.
Some good ball.
They have. So I'll give them the props on that. And then also, we joined by the producer extraordinaire out in the back of us, or actually in front of us.
What's popping?
Closed door, Mr. Nick John.
Hey.
So guys, this is Shopkulture. We want to thank you guys for tuning in like we always do.
Amen.
And I also want to say thank you to a lot of birthday wishes, and I really, really appreciate it. Man, you know, it's weird though when you have your birthday like on a Monday, because it's not really something, you gotta pop it like that, but it was popping.
I don't know. I'd have popped it all weekend.
I know you would.
You know me, I'm going to take Monday, Tuesday off to recover. And we're going to get this cracking.
Yeah, no, well, God's good. We'll put it like that.
Come on.
You know, any day you waking up and you're still here, I'm appreciative of it. And no, it was a good time. I had a really nice time last night. So, people, now we're moving into a different phase. And real quickly, we want to let you guys know we are close to having the day party meet and greet is coming up. So we're working on that. So that looks like that's going to be coming real soon. So we'll give you guys all the information about that.
Got the plug?
Yep. And real quickly, let's do that. Let me get the plug here. Take it over, Tim.
So, like my man Barry said, you know, we do got the day party coming in soon. We are working daily on that. It's gonna be live, y'all. So make sure you check that out. Make sure you're tuning in, paying attention. Make sure you comment. Make sure you like it. Make sure you're sharing. We appreciate everything you guys do. We appreciate all the attention. We appreciate all the love. We just enjoy being here with you guys every Tuesday. And you know, when we jump in to do our pop-ups, we just enjoy everything you guys bring to the table. We love you, and we just appreciate it all. Today we got an interesting show for you guys. You know, we're gonna take it there. We're gonna talk about breakups today.
We're gonna talk about breakups.
Okay, we're good now.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about breakups, not makeups, but breakups. Mm-hmm. Real quickly though, because we had a meme that was on there that was a good meme about when somebody's secretly crushing on you. What advice would you give them?
Me, I'm a direct person, so listen. If anybody out there crushing on me, be direct.
Yeah.
Say what you got to say. Shoot your shot. Listen, you gonna miss 100% of the shots you don't take. All right,
Yeah, I
so
know
shoot
that.
that. You got to shoot that, man. Go ahead, tell me straight up. Listen, I like you. I think you're sexy. Whatever you got to say, however you got to put it out there. Go ahead, and let a brother know, and we can go from there.
Just keep it moving, huh?
Come on, man.
Yeah, I think a lot of times, especially when maybe women are into you, you know what I'm saying? They're not very direct about it, right? And they want you to guess about, whether they're into you. I'm like, well, but yet you women, you also like the alpha male. You like the males to be direct. Be direct too.
Have you ever had a situation where you know a girl or you know a woman, right? And this woman is, like you said, secretly crushing on you or whatever, right? Then you get into a relationship, and that's when she comes and tells you, like, oh, but you didn't know I was like, I've been liking you for so long, and how did it get so long and I didn't know?
Yeah. No.
Ladies, don't do that.
Don't do that. Yeah. Be direct. Be upfront. Communicate it. Let the guy know, like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you're right. If you don't take the shot, how are you supposed to know? You can't read your mind. So I totally agree with that. Talk to some of the viewers.
Nick, what you think, man? Somebody crushing on you, how they come tell you? Or how would you prefer to find out? How would that work out with your
man,
way?
I don't even know how to approach it. I mean, the only way that I would actually know if somebody was to tell me, and I don't know if anybody would. I mean, if they're secretly crushing on you, they're gonna keep it a secret, right? They're not really gonna come out and.
So
yeah, but the meaning was, what advice would you give them?
What advice would I give somebody who's secretly crushing on me?
Oh, you have a crush? Yeah.
How would they go about obtaining your attention?
Damn. I guess I'd have to go with your answer. Just be direct. I don't really do the
direct.
I don't do the whole like cat and mouse and let's play guess who and all. Yeah, I'm too grown for that. So
especially when times of the essence at our age.
But you know what? Can we take it a step further?
Okay.
Ladies, can we just be more direct with our intentions? You know, you hear it all the time where a lady says, I want a man to just be honest. And, if he doesn't want to be in a relationship, he just wants to have fun or have sex, tell me. But then when somebody does tell you,
you get on your feelings.
Then you don't like it.
Yep.
But that doesn't mean I like you any less as a person. That just means that's where I'm at in my life. But also on the adverse side of that is...
But if they like you, they don't have a problem with what you just said, though. That's what I was
But some of them do, because, again, where I'm at in my life might be different from where you're at in your life. So she might be looking for something more with me, than what I can provide at the time. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, ladies, and I know there are some ladies out there that literally feel the same way, that are just, hey, I'm not looking for a relationship. I just want to have some fun. Yada, yada. Be direct.
Yeah.
Be direct in what it is that you're looking for, because, again, that's how we avoid heartache later.
So now you're saying, just in general, be direct, not just
with intention.
With intention.
With intention and feelings. Be direct.
Right.
Listen, if all you want is to have some fun for the night, be direct. If you're looking for longer, be direct.
I think typically when somebody's looking for longer, though, it's usually they're not going to be direct about that per se.
And I think that's a problem. In my opinion, that's a little bit of a problem. If
that's
we're
weird.
in it for the long haul, right? If you're looking for the long haul, then I think you should tell me that. Because again, where you're at in your life does not dictate where I'm at in my life. But again, if we don't communicate these things, then how can we ever get past that roadblock? Or when we get down the road and I'm like, well, I don't really, I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to go do my thing. And you're like, well, wait, I thought you liked me. I thought you wanted this. I thought you wanted that. But we never talked about it.
See, that's where
neither one of us were ever direct.
You see how the confusion? Exactly. But even if they are direct with their intentions, people do change during the course of that journey. But you have to acknowledge and be open to that change. And I think sometimes that's also lost.
But I can say I want a relationship.
Okay.
With intention, I think that even whether if it changes down the road, that's okay. I think, but again, you have to be direct with that. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been in certain situations, and I'm gonna just talk about myself. I've been in certain situations to where you met a woman in the beginning. It was agreed, all we're doing is having some good times. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna do whatever, but we're not trying to be serious. And then 6 or 7 months.
You said having sex.
Listen,
be direct.
Whatever your fun is, you know what I'm saying? Whatever your fun is, because and listen, because even though hold on, I'm gonna explain that. Okay. So just because I'm having sex with a woman doesn't mean that we can't go out on a date. We can't go have fun. We can't go do something. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is whatever that fun and in that little whatever y'all's relationship is, and then you get down the road and I want a boyfriend. Well, that's not what I wanted. You know what I'm saying? So
but this is where I have a question is okay, but doesn't that person have a right to change their mind? Right? You know what I'm saying? Don't they have a right to? It might change. They might see something that you have that they want to invest in long term. Hey, is that a problem?
No. That's not. That's the issue. Is when it becomes an issue because you haven't told me up until now, or you know what I'm saying. When it becomes an issue, there's no.
But that's the question I have. So when should you tell somebody?
Personally, I'm a person. So I had a conversation with somebody about love, right?
Okay.
And they were saying that you don't love a person with the expectation that they're going to love you back. You love a person for who they are. So if I care or if I want to be with you, I'm going to address that. I'm going to bring that up and be direct and tell you. Now, again, when I tell you that, now here's the problem is most people can't accept when their love or their feelings aren't equated. So if I come to you and say, I want to be with you, I want this, I want that, and then you say, well, that's not what I want.
Or it's quiet on the other side.
You see what I'm saying?
You love them and they're looking at you, like,
well,
what do I say? You know what I'm saying?
Look,
it does.
Okay.
Man, had that situation. Yeah,
that's an ugly one.
It's a very ugly. It is, because you don't know how do you respond to that, because that is a part of it might not be a rejection. It's just right. They don't know what to say.
But that's what I'm saying. Is if we're direct in in our feelings and what we want, then maybe I don't feel it now. Maybe I don't feel it at this moment, but that doesn't mean that my thought process can't change as well. But again, if you wait until the end and I'm like, well, hey, babe, we've been doing this for a couple months now. Time for me to go ahead and move on. You're like, well, wait. I wanted a relationship. Well, why didn't you tell me a couple months ago before I was already packing my bag to get up out the door?
But that's what I'm saying. It is a tough, because I can see both sides of that. Like you just said, it's never really a great time to tell somebody that, because a lot of times people, when you go into a course of dating or get into a situation, your feelings obviously change throughout that. So when is the appropriate time? It's not really appropriate time. So that's what you're saying is.
I think all time is the appropriate.
That's what you're saying. That's what and I understand that point, but I also understand the point. Sometimes people are a little slower paced at that. And you have to kind of be like, okay, because people's feelings are harder online.
Well, everybody works at their own pace. You know what I'm saying? And how they deal with their own emotions and feelings and all of that. I'm just, again, speaking from experience and speaking from my point of view as if you're dealing with Anthony, you know what I'm saying? I can only speak to that. So what I'm saying is for me, I would rather her be direct as possible as soon as possible, because then that gives me the
opportunity to respond.
Exactly. And be able to process without, already having a preconceived notion of how I feel about it.
Well, let me ask you this though. In the response, are you one of those that's going to respond right away, or are you going to take some time to respond? And would you tell that person, hey, I need to process, what it's just told me?
Well, I guess, I'm going to say I'm both, because I guess it depends on the situation, the timing, you know what I'm saying? Like, again, I don't want to ever be somebody that just directly is out to hurt somebody's feelings. So, if a woman came to me and she had feelings and they weren't equated, then I have to I want to take that into consideration. Unless I'm looking to reject her, you know what I'm saying? Unless I'm like, hey, I'm out of this situation. But if I still want to be connected to this person, then I have to take their feelings into consideration when answering. So depending on the situation, depending on, the severity of my answer, I might have to say, listen, let me take some time to think about this. You know what I'm saying? Let me process this. But I mean, if I feel the same way, or you know what I mean, and I can give a response right away, I'm going to give you the honest response, whether you get it right away or you get it in
whatever the case might be. Yeah, and I think we're all looking for some validation, right? Whether or not you can't validate her feelings or his feelings at that time, you are looking for some validation. I had a situation, you tell a woman and they had about 30 questions for her. I'm like, that's kind of, what I'm saying? Yeah, if I'm telling you that, obviously I feel a certain way.
Right.
So, but it always is about validation. But let's move on quickly, because we went off like we always do.
It's a nice cold open that you guys provided the audience with.
You know what, man? We're going to jump off script sometime. Roll into it. Let me get into some comments.
Let me read these comments off, and then we'll get into the first topic regarding breakups.
Yes, sir.
Aaron Canones says, what leads to a breakup? Usually it is the negative bias that overrides, or positive relationships experiences leading to dissatisfaction in our current situation. Julie says, comes down to honesty. Veronica says, I think most individuals try to pretend pretend to be something that they're not. Excuse me.
Mhm.
Hoping that they can change their mind later. And
Mhm.
Anthony is in the building.
Anthony, what's up? Anthony Reed, my boy, man, from Texas, man. We're gonna come down there. We gotta go to Shopkulture from down there.
Come on.
All right. So
Aaron had an interesting, well, at least he says it's a negative bias that overrides the positive relationship experience. You think that's always the case?
I think it's a good thing. I think that's a good perspective. But I mean, there's breakups can come from a million different places.
And that's the thing, you know, and they're always hard to either do or to receive. And I think in today's times, do you think, and we're just going to kind of go into a couple of the questions that we did have is, do you think people break up too soon?
okay, so that's what we're leading with.
That's a great question.
Are people too quick with breakups?
I think, but I also think that is a perspective question because that's based upon your situation. You see what I'm saying? I think that I do think that today in today's generation we probably do break up without putting in some work. You know what I mean? Dealing with the issues. You know what I mean? Because it's so easy. It's so easy to just say forget it. I'm gonna just walk away. I'm gonna leave it alone. You know what I'm saying? Before having to.
There's usually signs, though. There's usually some type of signs.
Yes,
I
I know.
think, really, you don't think there's usually some type of signs that kind of push you toward that direction of breaking up? Because I don't think people usually want to break up with somebody, especially if you invested a certain amount of time. I think it should be the natural progression is to try to make something work with somebody. But if you have tried and you see it's not working.
But we also have to take into account that there are immature daters.
Mm-hmm.
There are people that don't date for purpose. There are people that just get into relationships because they are looking to fill a void in their life. And those people, sometimes you don't get the signs from because those people aren't necessarily.
I'm gonna cut you because I think everybody has at least one of those traits. Every single person has at least one of those.
Really?
I do think.
You think so?
I think so. I
Elaborate.
Well, I just think that there's always going to be some type of insecurity about getting into a relationship, whether or not you just mentioned several things, and I think those things do cross somebody's mind, maybe unintentionally, but they do cross people's minds.
So what I'm saying is though, is for the people that are actually emotionally immature. You see what I'm saying? Those people sometimes you don't necessarily get signs from. Like, you know, again, you get into relationships with people, and there are con people. There are people that are good at that are hiding their baggage. There are people that are just good at hiding who they really are.
Maybe they don't really acknowledge and understand their baggage too, though.
That's a very good point, and it's possible. But we know personally, we know personally some of these people, right, that aren't who they are when the doors close. You know what I'm saying? When the doors open and the crowd's in the room, they're a different person than they are behind closed doors. You know what I'm saying? Just like okay, prime example, right? Woman gets in a relationship, right? Dates this guy for 6 months, 8 months, year, however long. Then they move in together. Then he starts beating her.
Well, hold on. Tim, you just went there.
But listen, we got to go there. Listen, because if we're talking about breakups, we got to acknowledge all types of relationships. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that there are people, you know what I'm saying, that tend to hide who they truly are until you know what I'm saying, are able to strip back some of those layers and get them in a private room or private setting. See what I'm saying?
You're saying
or in a private setting in a relationship to where, you know, you get more intimate with this person, you become, you know, closer to this person. You know what I mean? And then this person shows who they really are. You know what I mean?
When I hear that, though, yeah, and I think that's what everybody, though. Everybody, you're not going to see their true self, I think, until about 4 to 5 months. If you're last that long in a relationship or situationship, whatever case you might be, it takes a while before that shows up.
But so here's my point, though. So my point is that the negative, right, can sometimes be hidden a lot more than, you know, Nick might have some little quirks, right, that, you know, until him and his woman live together, she don't know that Nick don't, you know, he don't put away his dirty socks. He just throw them on the floor. Mm-hmm. Not to say he does. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. So when, you know,
and she has to learn how to either accept that.
Right. So what I'm saying is so there are those people that are able to hide who they truly are until you get deeper in a relationship, and then this person explodes on the scene. You're like, whoa, that's not the Barry I knew. I didn't know Barry, you know, like to walk around in his socks and drawers, whatever your quirks are. Mm-hmm. But so that's what I'm saying is you're not always gonna. It is your house, but you're not always gonna get the signs. You see what I'm saying? Because like for those, I mean, again, we see domestic abusers. You know what I'm saying? We see habitual cheaters. We see all of these negative, and I'm not just saying that these are the only reasons or only causes or these are only times we're not going to see signs, but I'm just saying that some of those people are good at hiding the signs. Until you get deeper in a relationship, until you're blasted with the sign, and now you're like, oh my God, now what am I going to do?
And I think that's what we're getting, and that's why I wanted to talk about breakups, because how do you deal with it? What's the aftermath of a breakup? And then after the breakup, are you one of those that just jump right back into the dating pool?
See, we talked about that. I don't.
So you said you take some time. You actually take some time.
You have to.
I agree with you. But what's the appropriate time?
This is a good question.
Okay.
And actually, it's part of the topics that you presented. What leads to breakups? And then before you guys answer that, let me get into some of these comments. Tasha is in the building.
Tasha.
She wants to know who the new guy is. That is Anthony. That is Tumor.
I'm Anthony. Nice to meet you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. New co-host. It's been a breeze having him on board.
I appreciate that, my brother. It's a blessing to be here.
Yes, sir. She goes on to say breakups, breakups are from moving too fast and focusing on things that do not matter in the long term. She also says if all you care about is his bank account or a fat ass, you will break up over things that are deeper because you were focused on the wrong things in the first place. Veronica says,
and that goes for men and women.
Veronica.
That's why I like how she said the bank account or the fat ass.
Because that's right there.
Let me get through these comments, guys, real quick. Veronica says, what's too quick? There are red flags or triggers for some that they're not willing to. They're not willing to compromise. That's what she corrected herself. We have a new listener. We don't know who you are. Well, I don't anyways, because it's under Facebook user, but thank you for tuning in.
And real quickly on the Facebook user, how it works is you got to go on the StreamYard and you got to accept. StreamYard regulates that part of it. So I want to let you people know.
Tasha says yes. And real quick, I already typed it here in the comments. If you want to be seen, where I can actually like right now, we see Tasha, we see her profile, we know who this is. In order for me to do that for your comments, you have to tune in via the Shopkulture Live Facebook group, not Barry's page, not the Shopkulture business page. The
Shopkulture Live page.
Right. In order for otherwise you're just a random
user.
Right. So with that said, Tasha says, yes, I agree. It validates what I said above, going into what you guys were talking about. She also says niggas are looking for ass, chicks are looking for money. Then that's when the real issue starts coming out. Facebook user says, welcome to the hottest club in town.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Come on, talk about that one.
The SK.
Tasha says, Barry, this is why I like deep conversations off top to hopefully reveal the stuff that they're hiding.
I mean,
amen.
Yeah,
but I agree with our conversation last week about being open, direct and communicative.
But even you have deep conversation, like you just said too. After the honeymoon phase, that deep conversation goes out the door because the true self comes out, and nobody's telling you their true self. People are having deep conversation, but I think you're just skimming the surface. That's what I see.
I agree.
I kind of disagree with that, but the Facebook user says you're not ready to consider moving on until you are happy seeing your ex with a new partner. And also, Facebook user says, I am part of the live page. I understand that you may be part of the live page, but are you viewing this right now through Shopkulture Live, the Facebook group?
Not one of our shared posts,
right,
but actually from the live page.
Niggas actually having a conversation with
right.
I see it, yeah.
Well, I'm just letting them know.
See that too.
Distinctions are important. Ryan Derrick says deep combo things can still be hid, aka living style or lifestyle.
There we go. Like I said, until you really get deep in that relationship, I can sugarcoat, put the ice cream on the top with the cherry and all that, make it look real pretty.
But that's yeah. And I think deep conversation is part of it. But I think it's not a substitute for the time.
Experience is the best.
In the time and the situation, it's gonna show itself. So you got to put in the time. The time, it always comes out. So that's what I was trying to finish saying.
Cool. So what leads to breakups?
Hold on. So you said you disagree with the point. Let me hear what you.
Well, the point about deep conversation stopping after a certain period.
No. So
because that's what I thought that I was hearing. So that's what I was
okay. So what Barry was saying is that there's no substitute for experience. So we can have all the deep conversations we want, but again, like I said earlier, I can lie all I want. I can sugarcoat that conversation 1,000 times, but until we have the experience, you know what I'm saying, you're not really going to get the essence of the true self. So time is what Barry's saying. He's saying that the deep conversations in the beginning don't substitute for the time that gets put in a relationship to really learn a person.
They have to run parallel with one another. I understand. Putting in that time. Well, from what I'm hearing and how I'm digesting this, because I was just talking to my homegirl about this. You have to have that timeline for said experiences, so that you can learn, get acclimated to this individual, and learn who they are. Just genuinely learn that person. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I agree with Barry in that aspect, but adding on top of that, the deep conversations can still continue.
So I'm gonna add on to what you said. I think the experience validates deep conversations.
I was in and out when you were originally going over this, B, so that's why I was like, I thought I heard something totally different. Once you broke it down. I got it.
I agree what you're saying. But the experience should validate the deep conversation. And when the experience doesn't validate the deep conversation, that's when we have an issue. Because that's when the experience is not holding up to the words. You see what I'm saying?
So, they don't align.
Right.
And you see that it doesn't align.
Right.
And that's what this is the issue. I think, and it's a particular issue, I think, for men and women too. Because I think we should see those red flags totally different sometimes.
Definitely.
I think the baggage that's brought, man, it's for women. They harbor that a lot more, I think, than men do.
I'm gonna disagree with you. Okay. Just so you'll have the habitual cheater, right? As a man, that will say, "Oh, well, I cheat because I was hurt," but then when he's cheating, he's not thinking about the hurt that he's instilling on others. See what I'm saying? So I would say that women carry baggage differently. Yeah. But I wouldn't say that they carry it any heavier or any different than us men. I would just say that we react and do things differently because, again, men and women normally tend to handle their feelings and emotions separately and differently. So I would say that it would probably be in the same, same realm as far as baggage goes. We just handle it differently. You know what I'm saying? Where one man might shell up because he got cheated on, where the other man might turn around and become a cheater himself.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? I think we just carry it differently than women do. You know what I'm saying? We may not carry it on our heart as much as we do on our outer sleeve. You see what I'm saying?
It's definitely different to me. Yeah. Okay.
And so I would say that men can carry the baggage just as heavy as women and bring it just as much, if not worse. Because here's my thing. And I tend to see it more from men than I do women. We as men tend to go back to our exes a little bit more than women do.
So why is that then?
Sex. Comfortability. Men are more comfortable.
See, I think it's a little deeper than the sex part. I think it's being comfortable.
I think that has a lot to do with it. Comfortability. It's just being comfortable with the person. So we'll run back to, you know what I'm saying? We'll make it comfortable.
Even though you know the chemistry, well, maybe because it's easy too, but because you know the chemistry wasn't there. The reason why you guys broke up in the first place, right? Usually when you go back again, it's not going to work.
It's just for sex. It's something out of lust.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is that, and so normally we tend to get caught up in running back more than women, because women normally, most women, when they're fed up and they're ready,
they're done.
They're done. Us dudes, we'll say that 3-4 times and run back. You know,
keep running back,
keep doing the dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? So we just carry baggage differently, because to me that's a sign of baggage. Because you're still carrying that bag and you haven't moved on. You ain't took the next flight, have you? The next phase of your life hasn't moved on, if you're still running back to a situation that you know is dead, right? If I keep running into a cave with a bear and keep fighting that bear, and that bear keep whooping my ass, but I leave, I heal up, and I run right back to that damn cave.
There's that ego thing too. There's an ego thing with men where I have to keep her in play.
In play. Yeah,
I agree. I don't
know if that's a baggage. I just think that's an ego.
It's an ego thing and a narcissistic thing at the same time. Because while you're Because while you're doing that, you're still out here playing the field, or you're in some
You
other
still
You're in
situation or
another
whatever.
relationship.
Or you're in a whole
Right.
other relationship. You're mad at. You're like.
So then, listen.
Okay.
So does that not hamper my? If I'm in a current relationship, right, and I'm dating a woman, and every time me and her get upset with each other, I run back to the ex, right? Knowing that that's a toxic situation, knowing that if I stay more than a day, we're gonna be fighting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so I'm gonna come in here.
It's usually a week. You always get that week.
No, I'm listening. No, 2 days.
Yeah, you get that week.
I don't do 2 days. Because listen, I'm not even gonna let you get to that point. We ain't gonna even get there. I'm gonna do 2 days, and I'm out.
Okay.
But I'm not running back.
I know.
No, but I'm serious. No, seriously. But you know what I mean? Like you'll have the guys that do it for ego, but then you also have the guys that literally. I believe that that's part of baggage, because if I'm comfortable and I don't want to make myself uncomfortable to get ready for change, because change is uncomfortable, right? Change is different.
Change is, and it's an active. You know, you have to be active
and actively working. And so if I'm running back, right, and I can't let that piece of me go, then that's baggage, especially if I'm working to get in a new phase of my life, in a new, you know what I'm saying, new direction or new relationship. That's baggage, bro. Because again,
I don't know. I wouldn't call it baggage.
I think it's ego. I think it's like Nick said. I agree with Nick on it.
I do hear what you're saying. I wouldn't call it baggage though.
Fucking his ex for ego. Let's be realistic. They're not.
No, that's a narcissistic right.
How you doing it? I don't think it's
that's narcissism at its at the highest degree.
Not a set of baggage. I think so. Yes. Yes.
It's a flaw, I will say.
I think it's a characteristic.
It's a character flaw.
Narcissism is a mental health issue. Let's be realistic.
Baggage is what we talked about baggage on a previous episode. You were a part of that episode. And baggage was when you're bringing something into the relationship that you didn't discard or heal from, whatever. So that could be like, hold on. So that could be like someone bringing kids. You know,
kids are baggage.
Some people do view. Hold on. Let me finish.
Okay.
Some people do view kids as baggage. We're not gonna sit up here and beat around the bush about it. Some people do view kids as baggage. You know.
So hold on.
That's one. Hold on. That's one example.
Hold on.
That's just one. Just one example though.
So my kids can be baggage, but me sleeping with my ex isn't baggage.
Bro, hold on. I'm trying to.
No, that's narcissistic behavior and ego at work. And I'm just giving you. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying whether you're right or wrong on it. I'm just saying, to me, that's not baggage. Baggage is something that you are
woman being cheated on. A woman being cheated on, and she constantly.
Or a woman who was, or here we go. Hold on, Barry. A woman or you, a woman or man who was cheated on.
Can't trust nobody.
They didn't get through that. They didn't heal or whatever. And so they bring that into the relationship and they project that onto you.
Yeah, it's always thinking somebody's going to do you wrong or do you dirty.
That's baggage. That's a form of baggage.
Let's be realistic. Don't cut me off.
Okay.
Because I have a very valid point.
Okay.
That can't be the only form of baggage is pain. Because
I didn't say that.
Hold on. So what I'm saying is I don't have to necessarily go fuck my ex because I feel big about myself and I got an ego problem.
But isn't that why you're doing that? Because why else are you doing it? Why are you doing it?
So you weren't listening when I said
other than just easy access. Okay, maybe I wasn't listening.
So let's pay attention.
So okay, I got you.
This is men discussing issues that we don't have.
Go ahead.
So
you got the
floor.
Like I said earlier,
okay.
If I have comfortability issues and I don't want to move on from a past situation, I'm pulling that past situation into my current. Is that not me carrying baggage? Listen, whether it's ego, whether it's narcissism, whether it's comfortability, whether it's emotional baggage, whether I'm emotionally tied to this person and I can't leave her alone, that's baggage. That is emotional baggage. From a person that works in mental health, that is emotional baggage. Listen, if you are wrapped up in a situation,
I gotta hear what you're saying.
If you are wrapped up in a situation, a previous situation, and you are pulling that situation into your new situation and have not left that previous situation, that is emotional baggage, whether it be your ego, and I'm egotistically tied to this person, because she tells me when I stick her, I'm the best one she's ever had or whatever. So I have to bolster my ego and hey, let me go. You know what I'm saying? Or hold on, let me finish. Or I'm still hurt, right? And I still love this person, or I still want to be with this person, or I can't let go of the toxicity of this person, but I love what we do together because I'm comfortable because we've been doing it for so long. Let's listen, fellas. Let's keep it funky. If we're gonna talk about relationship, we gotta open it up, not just to our feelings, but we gotta open it up. So what I'm saying is, not every dude that runs back is chasing his ego. Some dudes are chasing that same person that they can't let go. That's emotional baggage because you can't let that situation, whether it was toxic, bad, whatever, you broke up for a reason, right? That was in the past. So for me to hold on and pull that forward and continually pull that into my new situation, my new life, whether I'm in a relationship, whether I'm single, whether I'm just working on Anthony, right? As long as I continually pull that back and pull that forward, that's emotional baggage because I haven't let go of whatever it is, whether it be ego, whether it be the sex, whether it be just the emotional relationship ties that I have to this person. As long as I hold on to those strings and pull that back, that's emotional baggage.
Okay, but that's just part of the baggage,
right? But that's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is, because somebody said it wasn't baggage. So what I'm saying is any emotional tie that you can't let go, that was a negative situation, whatever it was, whether it was you were the negative, she was the negative, and you pull that into your current, that is emotional baggage, fellas. And that as men, we have to accept that that's what we do. Whether it be ego or it be emotional, it still is baggage because we're still pulling it from the rear because it should be behind us. That's a situation you should let go, right? Moving forward, because if you didn't need to move forward, why'd you break up with her?
Well,
why did you allow the breakup to happen? Why didn't you?
There's a lot of elements to a breakup, though, and that's what this conversation is about. There's tons of different elements of the reason why you break up.
Right.
You could. What? Go ahead.
I was gonna get through. I wanted to read through these comments real quick, and we're
gonna
keep going.
Remember, tune in, share, shop, culture.
Come on.
I'm gonna say this.
Men.
So
calling us all that.
So
I got a little mad.
Got to do it.
I look at myself.
You know I love you though. You know you my dog.
So Doc says, does it sting to see your ex with something? We'll answer this later, but let me just get through these comments. Doc says,
no, we're gonna lie. No, it doesn't.
Doc says, does it sting to see your ex with someone else in public? If so, give yourself more time.
Who's gonna make you say no?
If so, give yourself more time was the end of that comment.
That's a great point.
Tasha says, depends on if people are in tune and aware of fake energy. She also says, now that I am healed, I can see fake words / actions from a mile
Who
away.
said that?
Tasha. She continued. This is Tasha right here. So I'm just
completely healed.
Right.
Okay.
So then she also says, often the desperation for a relationship clouds and places a fog on an obvious red flag. She also says, keep the new guy. She likes what Anthony is bringing to the table.
I appreciate that. I'm here to stay, baby. Appreciate that. Much love.
We like him too. That's why he's here.
Facebook user says, am I good now? No, you are not. You're still blank on my screen.
Just put the name. Just put your name on the name.
I don't,
We're going to be at the end of the show. We appreciate you, though.
I'll type it in the comments again to, or do what Barry just said. Type your name so we know who you are.
Hey, I'm such
So right. Nick Jones can give you a shout out.
Veronica says, it's because they've already seen the worst of you, and if you're back in their life, that means that they're okay with it. It's validating what you consider all your flaws. Tasha says, beauty and booty does not keep a relationship.
Hold
on.
You've been on Shopkulture. I think everybody said that. Everybody said that.
Tasha, she also says getting your dick wet will not heal you. Running back to your ex means you are broken.
Thank you.
She agrees with what I was saying about narcissism. Facebook user said
for both you guys, okay?
But I didn't disagree with it. I was just saying that it is a
and that's but guys, and sometimes in these conversations, it's not necessarily about right and wrong, because I think these are conversations that are needed. That's what it is. You got to have these type of conversations.
Facebook user says, if you have to keep her in play, you are clearly not ready to move on. Think of the reason you left. Be happy to see her with someone else. Learn from your mistakes, unpack your baggage, and move on.
I think we were answering to an honest assessment. An honest assessment was, no, you ain't going to be happy to see her at.
Facebook user also says, I'm in therapy with my... Someone says that they're in therapy with their daughters right now because of their ex using their kids in the situation.
So like Nick's. So yeah.
I see that. Like what I was saying. Tasha says, listen to the new guy, has a point. However, Nick, you are speaking the truth. Anthony said, or Tasha says, Anthony, let B and Nick speak.
Ooh,
no.
No.
Hey, no. Now what?
Ooh. Coming from
Facebook user says the Dynasty or Ja Blaze. I don't know. I don't know. Ja Blaze. That's what the comment said. Facebook user says you can remove yourself from any relationship, and if you haven't fully committed yourself to whatever healing and growing process is needed, those emotions and issues essentially become carried baggage. Everyone has baggage to an extent. It's how and what you carry.
And guys, so let's get back to the question at hand, though, because the question was, how soon should you date after a breakup, too? That was part of the question. I don't think nobody really answered that.
Or how long should it take to get over breakups?
So, kind of two.
I think that's I think that goes that runs alongside, or that runs parallel with the question, how long does it take for one to heal? There is no timeline. You take as much time as you need to process what has happened, and in doing that, just building to the new frontier, if you will. What you're now
the next
the
next phase of your life
in a relationship,
you know,
and mostly checked out of a relationship maybe 2 months or 3 months before they actually officially broke up. Is that true for some people?
Definitely. I mean, we
can't
never speak to all.
Yeah, I'm just saying it can't be. So,
all right, Jesse, we see you. You did it. I just want to shout him out.
Come on, Jesse. Okay, what's up?
Jesse Allen.
All right, what's up? So in saying it like that, could somebody be saying that, hey, I'm healed, broke up with somebody, and maybe the week following that is dating somebody else? Is that somebody that's quote unquote healed, or is it? That's what I'm saying.
So
there is a time frame. There's a time frame.
So here's my question, right? Because I was thinking about that while Nick was going through the comments. Is, let's say me and such, we've been building, like you said, to this breakup. I know it's coming, right? 3 months, right? And so when it comes, it happened, boom, right? And I'm settled. I'm okay with that, right? What baggage am I bringing in? You see what I'm saying? So I can understand, like what you're saying is, like you said, some people are already kind of checked out. I guess checked out. What is it? What I'm saying, I understand what Nick is saying about the process of healing. Yes, I think any breakup you need some part of healing. But since some people's healing is getting over it by staying busy or dating other people. If you're already emotionally checked out, why should there be a certain time? I don't think there is a certain time. I think that you as a person determine what your healing process needs to be. And long as it's not toxic to somebody else's, life, then I think that you're free to do as you choose. And moving on is there a double standard with men and women?
Because that was an interesting question, but Tasha, I agree with you on this. This is to Anthony because he was saying, she says, "Yo, you've been building to the breakup, though." LOL. No, that's what Barry said.
I said that sometimes people build in terms of they're not building a relationship; they're building to get to that point of a breakup happening.
I think I understand what you're saying.
I think what B's saying is,
people emotionally checked out.
You get to that point in your relationship where you're like, man, listen,
whatever happens,
you know it, but you stay.
I gotta address this.
And then whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, and then you break up.
That's not. What?
So Tasha also says, I wish a nigga would have a business plan to break up with me. Now, listen, exit strategies.
Yeah, exit strategies happen all the time.
Exit strategies sometimes,
I don't know what you can lie to
we're not going to act like people don't,
you got a spot with somebody.
Yeah.
Y'all got to join. You got to plan.
You going looking at a new spot. That's an exit strategy.
But in relationships, we know people there's people out there that are what you were saying about, okay, this isn't going anywhere, it's only a matter of time, you have people that are strategic like that, and then you have people who are messy where they just go fuck off and
so here's my thing,
or they start something before finishing what they're in,
right. So here's my thing is, because you get those people that will, like you said, they're messy, you know what I'm saying, and they want to They know it's over, so I'm gonna go do what I want to do instead of dealing with this first, right? On the adverse side, you get those people, you know what I'm saying, who literally will jump out of a relationship into self-heal or self-medicate. They start jumping in.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And that, I think, is very toxic. And because at that point, you're risking somebody else's, not necessarily safety, but emotional safety. You see what I'm saying? And emotional security.
I got a question for you. If you got a friend like that, right, and you see them doing something like this, in terms of just jumping out of something, jumping into something else, are you going to be honest with your friend and tell them realistically, hey, bro, you
anybody who knows me knows that I'm super blunt and to the point. So yes,
So
I'm
you
gonna
would
let them
tell
know.
Hold on.
I'm gonna let them know.
Well, I'm gonna tell you.
Hey,
I'd say this.
tell 'em.
You know why?
Okay.
But see, me and you were different. We operate on a different plane. You know what I'm saying? So for me, if I see,
we talking about this type of stuff.
so you jumped out all the time. So you jump out of a relationship and jump in another.
Ooh.
I'm gonna be like, B. Well, first off, my question is still, are you good? Are you okay? You sure? If you say, man, I'm good, bro. Listen, I'm done with that. That's over. I'm out that. I'm gonna do me. I have nothing else to question. But as a friend, I'm always gonna check on you, whether you're jumping into something or you're not. As a friend, I'm always like, hey,
yeah. So your loyalty is to your friend.
Yeah, and
but that doesn't mean I'm not gonna check you if you out there doing something foul. You know what I'm saying? As a friend,
that's where that's where for me,
okay.
I am gonna ask more questions because I want to know exactly where your headspace is at.
Right. Of course,
So if you're telling me that you're
right.
because we as men we're very quick because I used to do this.
Yeah.
I still kind of do this. Where someone will ask me what's going on, I'm good, I'm straight.
Mm-hmm.
And don't ask me no more because you're just gonna piss me off.
Yep.
I don't want to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
But when we're talking about in context of what we're talking about right now, I'm gonna ask and try to dig as deep as I can and go just to make sure because I'm your man, I'm your guy. You don't gotta lie to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. And that's one of the things that I'll bring. That's
But with Nick saying, I agree with what Nick saying is because if you're doing something that I know is harmful to you, right? And whether it be emotionally harmful or a health issue, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna check. Like and Nick said, I'm gonna dive in. I want to know because I want to make sure that you're good.
Right, because if that's your man's, you want to make sure that they are good mentally, emotionally.
Sometimes it's not.
You gotta,
so plain for you to see that. Sometimes eating type of, hey, bro, what's up?
Hence the digging and
the talking and the
digging deep, right?
But that's why I said whether or not you're doing something toxic or not, I'm gonna ask.
And that's what I agree with.
Just
and that's what
I care.
And that's what we're telling people is that check in. You gotta check in.
Say it every week.
Check in.
Yeah, because this stuff can lead to all types of. You say it every time we end our broadcast.
Yeah,
mental health is important. And there are guys out there that will go and inflict harm, worse, delete themselves, suicide, because they are not filtering through these scenarios that they just got done going through properly.
Or they start treating everybody.
And they start projecting and hurting other people.
Or that's what
the next situation.
The next situation. That's why you got to step back and be like, okay, yeah, obviously I'm not ready.
Right. I got to deal with this.
I got to deal with this.
Tasha wants to know what defines jumping. You guys were saying somewhere in a portion of the conversation, jumping from. I thought you meant jumping from relationship to relationship,
or that's what we're talking about.
Relationship to woman.
I think that's jumping.
Or man,
and not giving, like you said, like Nick even said, the proper time to heal, and the time.
That's based on each person.
But I think we all can agree that it does take some time. Right?
I'll put myself on the chopping block. My first, first love, first girlfriend. And Barry, you knew about her because around the time that I was, we were dating was around the time. So this was like years ago. It was like 3-4 years ago.
Okay.
And it was toxic. It was trash. And she had emotionally checked out. And once
could you tell that though?
No, because I was too busy trying to hold on to the relationship. I was too focused on, we can get through this. We can work through this. I'm trying to do it like our grandparents did it. I don't want us to be the millennial couple where we're already known as millennials to just immediately jump out of a relationship rather than work through effectively, communicate, actively listen to one another. So I wanted to, right. And kind of in a way, I wasn't really doing that, providing her with that respect because I was too busy trying to make things work. on my terms, right? So
that's real.
I caught on to her emotionally just checking out altogether when she had started talking and fucking with another dude. And this is while we were still living together, and we had half the talk trying to, the whole talk of, all right, we're gonna work through it and blah blah. So I thought we were, on the heading towards the up and up, right? When in actuality, she was still out doing her thing. And
but did she tell you that, hey, we're working on something, or you thought that she?
We sat down and we both had that conversation where she was in agreement of, okay, yes, let's work through it, let's try again, right? So, and then it just unraveled from there. I ended up moving out. It was one of the lamest and craziest times of my life because I had to rebuild. I had been with this woman for 4 years here in Seattle. I don't know nobody out here in Seattle. She was the only person that I really knew outside of like 2 of my homies. Yeah. So I had to. It was a humbling, experience because I had to sit down and rebuild. I'm in a house with people that I don't know, subletting in a room with no bed, no nothing. Just it was whack. Yeah. I didn't even want to think about dating because it's like, well, how am I? I eventually got back to it, but it took me. The person you are now, it made you stronger in terms of
right. And it took. You don't mistreat. You didn't just jump into a situation.
In that I sat down and I was self-reflecting, right? So I sat down and I just thought about all the crazy shit that I had did. It's easy to point out what your ex did and how they were foul and how they did you wrong. But seldom do people actually sit down and think about what the hell they did, the negative that they inflicted into the relationship. And so for me, that's why I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do this again. I'm not going to do that again. I'm going to make sure I'm better with this. I'm going to do my best, not try. I'm going to do my best to make sure I'm better for the next one. Because this is not what, I don't want this outcome to happen. Like, I wouldn't wish it on anybody, but we all go through it, right?
We all go through it.
But I wouldn't wish that type of.
Let me ask you guys this though: is it easier to get over a breakup when you know that you did as much as you could to make that situation work and just didn't work? Is it easier? Is there a
No, because for me, that was me. I was like, I did everything that I thought I was supposed to do. I'm over here effectively I thought that I was effectively communicating
to her.
That
might not be what she wanted.
And again, going back to me being blinded to that fact because I was too ingrained with what it was that I wanted. She was sitting here giving signs and all of that, but I just wasn't.
Checked out 2 years prior.
She had checked out months ago.
Okay.
Like when we actually,
2 years, bro.
that's crazy. 2 years, that's crazy. It wasn't. I mean, there are people out there that are oblivious, though. There are people out there like that.
Yeah,
but that wasn't me.
You know what I'm talking about? You had that conversation. I ain't gonna mess with you.
Yeah, we did have that.
I ain't gonna mess with you today, man. I ain't gonna mess with you today. I ain't gonna mess with you today.
Me and you had that, and I was telling you, we forgot what we had. We ain't gonna mention the name.
I ain't messing with you today, bro.
But no, for me in particular, it was harder because I thought that I was doing everything that I needed to do. What you're supposed to do to, and then for her to be all like, no, I don't want it. And matter of fact, this is the new dude I'm fucking. So,
Goddamn,
listen, I'm gonna go with Nick on this one though.
I don't know where we had to go with Nick on that. That's
but even
do you know if she's still even with the dude?
No, it was just it was one of those rebound situations because she didn't even. It wasn't no dude. I almost went head up with dude. Because he was being disrespectful and coming at me. It wasn't. He was being disrespectful. He was coming at me. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't because. So it wasn't. No, he was coming. He came at me with the disrespect. You know what I'm saying?
Why would he come at you with the disrespect? You're already. You know what I'm saying?
You got to understand, Barry. We're still me and my ex. We're still living together.
Okay, but did she bring him in now?
Did she bring him over?
No, that never happened. No, we never.
That's why
never brought.
No, he said on the question. No. This is a.
Okay, so what was the disrespect?
So I mean, while me and my ex were still together, we're still, trying to do the regular with carrying out like our everyday routine. We only had one car to get back and forth to work. So I would
So
have
you
to
got
go
no
and pick
room
her up.
Right.
And it was one of those instances where I had to, she asked me to come pick her up, and I went to go and do that.
Cuz wasn't there. He wasn't there.
He wasn't there.
Oh, I was about to say.
He
Oh
wasn't
no.
there. He wasn't there. But hold on, he wasn't there to
You
my
made
knowledge at the
California
time.
on me, man.
Hold on,
So,
he wasn't there to my knowledge. So when I went to go pick her up, we're on our way. Dude pulls in just out of nowhere, pulls in front of my whip and just like, comes at me with the static. So I get out the car.
Wait.
Hold on.
I need to hear this.
Hold on. I'm about to tell you right now.
But
So I'm looking at, I was like, you need, because at this point, I had already like.
did you know it?
Did you know who?
That's what I was trying to
No. I didn't
Okay,
know.
so
the
dude pulls up in front of you. So
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get a scenario for the listeners.
No.
So
That's what I'm trying.
you just pick her up from work, right?
Right.
You in the car.
Okay.
Dude comes and gets in front of you. I can say cut you off. He gets in front of you.
Pulls in front of the whip.
Okay.
Gets out.
He's jealous of you.
And because he still sees that we still have to deal with each other because
Okay.
we're living together.
So she was messy with how she was.
That was unheard of.
So let's continue.
So
he pulls up.
So
Jumps out.
So he and mind you, there's traffic and all of that going on. There's
we're in the street.
we're
not even in the
we're in the street at
Okay.
this point,
Gotcha.
And so
And you ain't let two of them out of shit.
You better shut the
You know me, bro. I'm not
Hold on.
embarrassed. I'm licensed.
Hold
I done
on.
let it
Hold
ring
on.
out. You ain't gonna embarrass me.
So
I was really thinking about. I'm like, where's that piece at? That piece right.
after
Wait, where's it at?
On the hip.
So after he gets out, calling himself screaming at me, screaming at her, I'm like, you get your dude or whatever.
Wait. So he's screaming at her,
He's screaming at.
but you don't know who this dude is. Yeah, right?
I knew of the dude, but we
Okay,
had
so
never
you knew
really.
she was already-
She was. We
Okay,
were all
this is your
everything
first
was
time.
already. I was on my way out the house.
Oh.
So
Everything,
it was already over.
it was
You guys-
already over. I
Yeah.
was doing her a solid because she needed to,
Okay.
get,
You
that's
guys weren't
all that
still-
was.
you're still
No, we were not dealing with each other.
Okay.
I was on my I was,
Okay.
yeah. So after he gets out the car or whatever and does all of that bullshit, I get out the car. He hurries up, gets back in his car. She gets in the car with him, trying to calm him down. or
Oh
whatever.
my God!
They both drove. Hold on. They both. So then he peels off, and then I basically chased him all the way.
No,
to the
you
wall.
didn't.
Hold on. Chased him to a wall. Hold on. Let me finish the story.
Come on, bro. Come on. I'm
Chased
listening.
it.
I'm listening.
So I basically chased dude down all the way to the Walgreens parking lot.
Not the Walgreens.
Yeah, chased him all the way down to a Walgreens
That's
parking
why you
lot.
still been Nick
From like-
Walgreens.
This is from SeaTac to like.
Oh,
this-
you niggas was on a high shit.
Yeah.
I can't.
Cause I was like,
I can't.
cause look, I was like, cause I'm not you not gonna get out screaming on me and then I'm not like I don't do that. Like what?
Hold on. I'm
So-
just trying to get clarification.
I can't.
So you got out the car.
Yeah.
Cuz is out the car.
Yeah.
So where's he relative to your door?
When he first got out and approached me, he's like on my door.
And you ain't
That's my girl. He's doing all of
No,
that.
he said that's my girl.
No. Because at the time I was going through shit with court and whatnot, so I
Alright.
wasn't trying to
Right.
pile on to
Yeah.
stuff that I already had
Okay.
going on.
No, bro.
So I had to. So
He's
me,
smart.
I had to keep it cool, and that's why I just looked at her and I was like, "You want to get this dude? Because you already know what it is with me." And that's why she got out in attempts to trying to calm him down. But she got in the car. They peeled off. I was like, "Oh no!" So I got in my car, peeled off after him. It ended at Walgreens. He ran into the Walgreens and was asking them for a phone so that he can call the cops, which he ended up doing. Because I wasn't about to go into the store, but I was standing outside the door, and I was like, "Come outside! You just did all that other shit. You just popped all that shit, and you got me chasing you down. All
I've
throughout."
been dying, bro.
Like, what the hell?
I was like, let me watch this.
So it was all of that. With all of that, that's all kind of like traumatic, right? That was stuff that I had to sit down and also in self-reflect. Like, you could have handled that better. You shouldn't have even been like.
Wait, you could have handled that better.
I mean,
He definitely could.
I know where T was going with it. No, but
I kind of feel you on that too,
but it was
I love my
when
dog,
you,
man. That's my boy.
but see, but these are the things that
This
one.
dude better not be watching Shopkulture.
These are.
Yeah.
I wouldn't care.
I hope this good watch.
I wouldn't care if he was. But the thing is, all of that. These are the emotions, the highs, the lows. This is the stuff that people go through during breakups. You know what I'm saying? Especially when there was time invested.
But see,
and you're trying to, you're thinking that you're doing everything right. You got all these outside entities that are now.
But there was a few things that went on at that. First thing, like you said earlier about ego. Ego does play a little part of that.
oh no, definitely listen.
And so
because
I
his
agree with
ego
him.
is what made him,
What
even
made
after
him
knowing
after
that
the
that
fact.
was checked
It
out.
was over.
You
It
know
was
what I'm
done. The dude
But
was,
I understand. I'm not
Right.
saying that. I'm not saying that you were wrong.
No,
But
that's what we're
it
saying.
just could have been done differently.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But it could have.
But see, here's my point though. But that's why you have to be direct with people, because that type of situation could have got somebody smoked. You'd have been in the car with the wrong cat,
would have.
and I wouldn't even. He'd have came to my door, and I'd have put you through the window.
And I told, and after everything was said and done, I told her, I was like, anybody else, that dude be dead right now, because you don't just pull up to somebody's whip on they door,
Yeah.
popping shit
But
like.
the thing about it is,
So I
the thing about it is, she was messy with that too.
No, horrible. She was horribly messy. That was crazy.
But anyway, guys, we getting
And Veronica, you're right. You let your anger get the best of you when he drove off. That's exactly.
That's what we're saying.
That's
But-
exactly what happened.
But that's what
here's
he's saying, that he's admitting that, and he went through the proper challenge to get better at it, and that's
that's
because
because with your baggage.
he didn't handle it like you said. Well, for two, yeah, but that would have been a lot different scenario. It was not working at the end of the day.
And with the
But hold on, but you know why I say it is? Because again, in today's world, I'm a father. Okay, father of 5. I'm going to get home. Period. I'm licensed, I'm trained, and I'm military trained. I'm gonna drop you before I even think that there's an issue. So hold on.
Checking out this dude. Do you think that dude was even built? It doesn't even sound like.
But again, listen. Hold on. Listen. You ain't got to be built like nothing to pull
Well,
the trigger.
bro.
Let's
Yes.
get.
Well, hold on.
What?
For him situation, he handled it right.
Listen. I'm not. Listen. Hold on.
and
I'm not
keep in
saying
mind.
Nick handled it wrong.
Okay, go
I
ahead.
think Nick handled it right.
Yeah.
Okay. Because in the end, it kept him out of an investigation. It kept him out of a cell.
Yeah.
But again, in that scenario,
Court.
you hold on. Well, let's be realistic. In that scenario, with that dude in the situation that he's in, because we've seen it. I watch Snapped all the time. So, okay, we see it all the time where a man is or a woman is invested in somebody else. That person is invested in somebody else, and that three-way problem causes a friction. But we don't know. So when that dude got out of his car and he approached, you don't know his mindset. Okay, so again, I'm trained to avoid all dangers. So when he approached my car,
So you gonna put 2 in the chest of what they're doing?
listen, first off, that's how you train. I didn't say I was kill him. Because first, if I wanted to kill him, I am trained. I could really drop him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna put 2 in it because first off, you're taught to shoot center mass. That's here.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna shoot you center mass. But yeah, I'm gonna drop him because again, and especially in that situation with her being as messy as she is, he's being as messy as he is. I'm getting home. Anthony's going home to his babies.
Yeah.
I don't know, especially you walk up on my car. See what I'm saying? So I wouldn't have chased him and shot him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It
No.
got to be.
I would have in that
It
situation.
got to be. Yeah, and
because
it got to be a little bit.
you know why? Because again, if I didn't know you, hold on. If I didn't know you, B, real quick, if I didn't know you, and you dating my woman or whatever, and I run up on your car, you don't know what's in my head. I don't know what's in your head. So again, I could be if you sit in your car, you could end up being a victim because of what somebody else's mess. See what I'm saying? I'm not going to be a victim to somebody else's mess. So if I had been put in that situation, not saying Nick had it wrong, I appreciate that he didn't, because that's not enough. I don't want to see another black man dead.
And I don't either. And
But I'd rather
saying.
see Nick make it home.
And he did make it home by using. He diffused the situation.
No, he didn't. He followed him, and it could have
Well,
really got worse.
it could have got it, but it didn't.
And the thing
But
is,
he
guys, I was
moving forward. This is good.
right. And again, a key factor to take away. Well, I was already going through some stuff in court.
No, listen, brother.
So that was one of the things. So for me, that's why I was like, I can't react in the way.
You don't need all the back. We got you.
You know,
in your situation,
You know,
you did what you're supposed to do to get home.
Yeah.
right.
Okay?
That's what we're saying.
Here's my thing is, get home.
Get home.
Whatever that
Whatever
means
takes
to
my
you
hand.
in your situation,
Guys,
get home.
Thank you guys for tuning. This is another edition of Shopkulture.
Facebook user says, Nick, please don't post on what the fuck's going on. I'm just sharing the
Is
experience
that the
from
boy?
years ago.
Look, is that the boy? Hey, is he watching?
No, that ain't my.
Oh, I thought you were
No, I'm sorry. I'm joking.
I don't know who this
got you,
is.
Nick.
Is that one of y'all people?
Don't worry, huh?
Is that one of y'all people?
No.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, we're getting real out here. Shop culture, man.
Yeah.
Guys, we've kind of reached the ending of Shop Culture. Thanks once again for tuning in. Remember to like and share Shop Culture. Man, tell your friends to join the live group. You guys see what's going on.
Man.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey, we're here, man.
Come
Listen.
on. We are here.
Blessings.
Any
Get
last?
checked. Mental health, please. Get your mental health checked.
Any last?
Oh, hold on. Real quick, because this was a comment that
Okay.
I wanted to. Someone said I had an exit plan when I left my ex. I planned it out for 2 months.
I think I seen it. That was Diane that said that.
Oh, okay.
But you know what? I think I heard that. Again, nothing wrong with an exit plan when you have to make one, because again, we can't speak to everybody's situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, if you're in a domestic situation, you ain't just running about it.
No.
He ain't gonna let you.
But that's what we did say that.
You got to.
That's what I was saying.
I agree,
Extra
100%.
plan. You gotta have them. Guys, thanks again for tuning in. This is Shop Culture. Like we always say, man, stay safe, be blessed.